What's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to show you the top 9 items that sold in the category of hats. Technically they're accessories, but you know, hats. I shoot videos like these every single Monday and I focus on one category so that you can focus. You can learn that category completely and not get distracted by a bunch of other crap, by a bunch of other sales that are unnecessary. I also answer viewer questions because there may be other viewers that have the same question that they just didn't ask. If you ever have a question, leave it in the comments below, here or any other video, and I'll try to get to them as best as I can or as fast as I can. Now let's get to the first sale. Here we have a Red Bull KTM hat. It is a purple camo looking color. This hat is Red Bull and KTM together. KTM is a motorcycle brand, a great excellent motorcycle brand, and Red Bull is Red Bull that you drink. You know, it gives you wings. And I decided to start with this one because this was a loser. For those of you that always think, hey man, you only show us the winners, what about the losers? Well, let me tell you, I show the winners mostly, and so does everybody else, because nobody wants to follow losers. Why would we make videos of things that people don't want to see? I know that you want to see all the big sales and all the bangers, but you know what? I'm going to show you. Not everything is a winner. I paid $10.83 for this hat. It took a little bit to sell, and it sold for $15, $5.99 shipping. I took an offer for this. At the end of the day, after all the fees, even the ad fee is taken into account, I made $11.50. Technically, it's not a loser. I still made a little bit of profit, but obviously that's not the profit that I wanted. This is a retail arbitrage product. I actually purchased these online and I bought it in bulk. Wait a little bit and you'll see a little bit later that I have another KTM hat that I bought along with this lot that did actually make money. Let's take the first question. Teresa0703 asks, where is the video feature? She's referring to a short that I shot about using the eBay video feature. Most people don't use it. And I can tell you that if you use it, it's going to help your sales. If somebody's on the brink of, oh, let me click, and then they're like, I don't want to click. Well, the video feature sometimes might push them over to make yourself a sale. I really thought that this feature was available for everybody. So I'm actually asking you guys, if the video feature is not available for you, please leave it in the comments below. I am Resolutions. I provide solutions to people's problems, and I want to fix this problem. So what I want to do is I want to see how many people are missing that feature, contact eBay, and see if we can fix it for everybody. I mean, who the hell am I, right? I'm just some guy. So why would they listen to me? But if we get together collectively, then maybe they'll do something about it. Let's go to the next product. Here we have vintage Polo 67 Ralph Lauren hat. It's a 90s hat, strap back. It's blue with a red logo. Polo Ralph Lauren vintage sells very well. I took an offer on this. I had it up for 40 bucks, and look what it sold for. It sold for $30, $5.99 shipping. And what did I pay? I paid $1. So that was an excellent pickup. After fees and everything, I made $24.28. Vintage anything Ralph Lauren usually sells well, and you can get good money for it, especially hats, because they're a lot harder to find out in the wild. So whenever you see them, as long as they're in decent condition, make sure that it's legit, not some fake. Then pick them up. You'll do well with these. Next, here we got vintage Seattle Mariners baseball hat. $59.50, and it's a wool hat. Got it for $1. How much did I make? I sold it for $23.98, $5.99 shipping. It sold super fast, I remember. And after fees and everything are taken into account, I made $20.03. MLB hats, NBA hats, especially when they're old logos or old vintage hats, tend to do very well because people collect this. Generally speaking, people that are into sports collect sports cards, they collect hats, they collect jerseys, and things of the sort. So when you see things like this that are in decent condition, and in fact, look at that one. It even wasn't in the best condition. I mean, decent for the year. It was a 1994 year, but it wasn't in the best condition, and it still sold. I believe it sold within 1 day. Let's take another question. At SDVLT says, hi, how do you recognize acetone, plastic, polarized, etc.? Please. So first off, let me say that that's all misspelled because this gentleman or lady, I don't know who it is, but they're in Malta. So there is a translation issue. And I want to say thank you very much for reaching out. I love it. I am definitely an expert in eyewear because I was in the eyewear industry for a long time. There's a couple of things that you're going to do. Number one, you need to know the brand. There are certain products that the brand already makes so that you can already assume what the materials are made of. For example, Oakley, most of the sports eyewear is made of O-Matter, which is their version of a nylon plastic mix that they make called O-Matter. So you can call it O-Matter. Acetate in general, it has a metal inside. That way it holds its shape because acetate, when you heat it up like with a heat gun or even when you rub it like that, when you rub it for a long time or heat it up, you can bend it and shape it to whatever you want. You couldn't do that with the Oakleys made of O-Matter. That's just not how they work. And also, polarization. The easiest way for you to tell something is polarized is that you just hold your phone out if you have a phone that everybody should have now, an LCD screen. You put your glasses like this. Now, do this. Twist the glasses at an angle. Once they start moving at an angle, you're going to see that the screen either goes darker or goes black. The reason for that is because the way that the filters are made, when you move them at an angle, they're going to create darkness because the filter is meant to stay like this on you. You're not going to be like this looking at things. So that's why I am able to recognize that. How else can I recognize it? Because I was in the industry for a very long time and I read a lot. Next sale, here we got Indianapolis Colts XL hat cap 47 curved bill. So this is a basic Indianapolis Colts hat. Very simple, right? This was actually retail arbitrage. Look at that. I paid $7.49 and look at how much I sold it for. $18.74, $5.99 shipping. After fees and everything is taken into account, I made $15.64. That means I more than doubled my money. And I bought a bunch of these. Retail arbitrage works. I have another retail arbitrage video. If you guys are interested, I'm going to link it below so that you can see something like that. But it does work. And the best thing about product like this is that when you buy one, you take pictures and you put up the listing, you don't have to do it again. It just sells and sells and sells and sells until it sells through. So I do recommend retail arbitrage as long as the margins are there. My rule of thumb is 30% or more and I'll pick it up. Let me answer another question. At Green Door Investments. Bruce, where the fuck have you been? He's referring to Bruce, my business partner and friend, who sometimes appears in my videos. Bruce was on a hiatus because we went to Mexico. He got all jacked up and he was lost for a couple of weeks. So he'll be coming back to the videos. Thank you very much for asking. I love it. I have so much fun with him. It's super great that you do enjoy that. So he is going to be in a couple of more videos, so stay tuned. Next product. Here we have the Toyota TRD Hat Cap Gray Red. This is the Toyota Racing Development. Toyota hats do well because they have a big following. It's like Jeep. Jeep has an extremely large following. And for those of you that are Jeep lovers, leave it in the comments below because I know how Jeep lovers do. For example, they're driving down the road and the older Jeep gets the hello from the newer Jeep. The same thing with bikers. When we're riding down the road, we do this. We point down with our hands saying, "What's up?" It's just a thing. So the TRD, I picked it up for $3, sold it for $12, $5.99 shipping. After fees are taken into account, I made $9.14, so I made $6.14. That's double my money. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, that's very little profit. Why are you doing things like that? Well, actually, I have a ton of hats. It takes me no time to shoot them when I'm taking pictures and no time to list them. Hats tend to move slow, but they do move. And they're very easy to find. So that's why I have them in my inventory. If you want to know how to shoot hats fast, I'm going to link it below. Let me answer another question. At Garamac9573. Hi, Damien. I always worry about non-obvious pests or roaches inside electronics when sourcing. How or what precautions do you take when sourcing electronics before bringing them into your house or garage? Excellent question. I take some precautions, but very little. There's not really a lot you can do because you can't really tell, you can't really see. The one thing that I do before they go, the one thing that I do is that before they come into the house or the garage, I take my air dust spray can, take it outside and all over and take off as much of that crap as possible. I also, when I bring them inside and I'm going to open them to clean them or something like that, Before I open them, I get a can of Raid because you never know. There might be a spider or a roach, like, jumping in there. I don't know why. I mean, most of those things are going to be dead because when you find things like that, they're already going to be old and just put away. But if there is, you got your can of Raid, so give them a Texas ass whooping when they try to attack you. That's the best I can do, brother. Next item, Sunoco New Era Hat 920 Tan Brown Strap Back. This is an interesting one. So Sunoco is a big brand that runs oil and gasoline all over the country. Now, a gentleman contacted me and said, hey, I used to work for them in the 50s. I have a huge collection. Send a photo over. And I said, you know what? Great, no problem. He said, look, man, this is all I can afford. For whatever reason, I said, no problem. So he sent over an offer. I bought it for $1. I took his offer of $8, $5.99 shipping, and I made $6.05. That means I made $5 in profit. I got to help somebody increase their collection. It just felt good because you know what, bro? If this touches you because you used to work for them and now you don't, and maybe it's just reminiscing about it, why not? It's just money. We can always make more. So I sold it to him. This is a good one. Keep this in mind because this is a Bolo brand. Melon Coronado Brick Hydro Hat Cap Snapback Gray Size. I did not know this brand. Melon is a California brand built by these two dudes that really like to have technology and they want things that last and that are good, that are not just crappy hats like everybody else makes. This brand was awesome. And how I knew that it was awesome is because when I touched it. This is why I always say you gotta touch things. As soon as you feel them, you're like, damn, this is made better. The stitching looked better. It was heavier duty. It had all this tech that was labeled on the hat. So I bought it for $8. Look at what it sold for. Sold it for $34.43, $5.99 shipping, and that's because I took an offer. And at the end of the day, I made $28.55. That means I made $20 in profit on this hat. It's an excellent hat. I've never seen these out before. This is the first one that I've ever seen. But I picked it up, again, because I touched it. It feels like good material. You should always do that, especially with hats, shoes, clothing especially, because you can feel the differences between cottons, or if it's polyester, or if it's this, or if it's that. Let me give you another example by answering a question that somebody asked. At Globe Gaming asks, he says, another banger. Great videos, appreciate the info always. I was wondering, how do you tell what a material an item is made out of? I know you're very experienced, so you can probably tell right away. Any tips, especially for breakable, fragile items that aren't marked with the material? Thanks again. Let me use the Harry Potter Goblet of Fire that I have right here. This is crystal, and I'm going to give you an easy way to test crystal. Grab something that's made out of metal. You can use a pen, you can use a couple of other things, but metal works really well for this. When it's real crystal, it's going to do this. And I was quiet so you guys can hear it. The ping stays. When it goes ping, and it goes. If it goes ping, that means that there is less lead or no lead at all in the glass. When it's leaded crystal, it's going to go ping, and it holds its tone. Let me try it again. Can you hear that? I can hear it. It's so awesome. That is one way to tell. Another way to tell is when you shine the appropriate black light on it, there's going to be specks. There's going to be specks of lead that you can see when you shine the light on them. I don't have the light right now, and it's kind of hard to show it on video, so I'm not going to do it. But when you shine that light on it, you'll see it. How can I tell other materials? Well, first off, you got to touch things and you got to know. Second off, you got to read. There's no other way around it. Always comes with experience, and it takes time. So don't get all flustered and don't get all just, I don't know what it is, when you don't know. You got to read. You got to increase your brain power, put so much information in your mind, and your mind's like, hey, what's going on? It really does help. Next item, here we have that Red Bull hat that I said earlier, Red Bull KTM racing hat. This is the KTM color, which is the orange, the Red Bull blue, and this Red Bull color scheme is actually used in MotoGP, similar to this. It is a great looking hat, and it was retail arbitrage online. I got it for $10.83, and look at what it sold for, $23.38, $5.99 shipping. After fees, I made $19.66. That means I made about $8.50 in profit. That doesn't sound like a lot? Well, I actually had like 20 of these hats. So you can just multiply that. I took the pictures once, I listed it, and then just let those suckers sell out, which they already sold out, by the way. Let's take another question. At Frank Holman 2632. Damien, awesome video. Love the chef costume. Did you go to culinary school for cooking? Well done. And on the meals you showcased today in your video. That's what makes your channel content's fun to watch, because you just say how it is. Thank you for sharing with us in the reseller community. He's referring to last week's video when I talk about kitchen items. Number one, I did not go to culinary school, but my brother did, and he taught me some of what I know. He's actually a trained chef. Number two, the jacket is mine. That I love that. It's actually not a costume. The jacket I use. The hat I bought because tall hat. That I don't use because I'm not a chef. Like, what the hell do I need the hat for? I can just use a baseball hat. But the jacket is mine, and I love it. I love to wear it. It's so useful. You put your thermometer here like I actually had on there. It protects you against all the splatter, and it makes you look pip. I mean, the people come over, they're like, oh, what are we going to eat? It's like, bro, I'm just making wings. You know, what's the chef costume for? Shh, because they're my wings. It just feels better. I do try hard. I cook at least once a day for my girl. She loves it. I cook dinner mostly. And I've been trying to increase my food knowledge for a long time. So they're going to keep getting better. Next item, we have vintage Houston Oilers hat cap NFL snapback. This is the old Houston, because now they're Houston Texans. Well, this is the Houston Oilers. I got this for $2 and it was not in good condition. The back of that was kind of dark, like stained the front to the bill, and I put it on there and they did not care because they're collectors, like I said before. Look at what it sold for. $16.60, $5.99 shipping. I made $15.02. I priced this one wrong, by the way. The Oilers hat, if you sit on them a little bit, you can actually get anywhere from $25 to $35. But I priced it down so much because of the stain. And a friend of mine that is a collector told me, bro, you should just leave it, man. Like, people don't give a shit about the stain because they're not going to wear it. They're going to have it on their wall. And I said, well, you know what? Too bad, so sad. In any case, let's see. I bought it for $2. I made $13.02 in profit, and it sold within 1 day. I'll take it any day, baby. Let me take the last question before the last set of items. At Susie QTX, how do you ship large knives? What a good spread. Thank you. This was my previous video as well. There's a couple of things you need to do. You need to cover the blade with cardboard and make sure that it's not accessible to where somebody opens a package and they're going to slice their hand open. You don't want to do that. So make sure you cover it with cardboard and cover it properly and tape it to where it doesn't come off. Second, you got to bubble wrap the handle or the back part of the knife, because you can break it in shipment. If you have the appropriate size of box, use a box. Anybody that's buying any kind of knife usually will spend some good money on it. They deserve a good box so they can feel good about their purchase when they get home. Do you have to always use that? No. Sometimes you have like big, long knives. And if that's the case, then what you can do is get like a larger box, larger than the knife, and then just cut the box to where you can roll it and send it flat. That also works because the knife is flat. If the box is flat, they'll take care of it with USPS or UPS, however it's traveling. They'll understand not to bend it. Plus, it's a knife. Like, it's very rare when it's actually going to break, but you do want to protect the back part or the handle of the knife, the hilt, because if not, some of them are really nice and pretty. They'll break. And if you break it, of course, you're going to be looking at a return and a pissed off customer. That's not what you want. I saved the best for last because these are super fun. Look at this one. Little Caesars hat cap, employee men's orange pizza, and the UPS trucker hat cap. I left the employee hats for last because employee hats always sell. They just have to be in good condition and they have to be nice. There's two reasons why they sell. Number one, there's employees that need them, and instead of paying whatever their company's charging for them, because sometimes they get charged for that, they get them from you for cheaper. Or second reason, they want to wear UPS. Oh, I'm a part of the UPS guy. Or they want them for Halloween. Or they want them for who knows. People are weird that way. Look at what I sold them for. $9.17, $5.99 shipping, and I made $8.52. I got them for $1, so I made $7.52. And I've sold 4 Little Caesars hats, 2 UPS, 2 Pizza Hut, Domino's. I don't remember how many of the other ones, but I've sold Domino's before. I've sold Chipotle, and I don't remember, and a bunch of other ones. So when you see employee hats, again, as long as they're in good condition, because they are working, and sometimes they're full of grease or They smell like some weird shit. If they're good to go, pick them up, you'll sell them. You're not going to sell them fast like in one day, but if you sit on them long enough, you will sell them, and just make sure you price them correctly. That's it, everybody. Those are the top items that sold in the category of hats. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for this week's video. As always, I have these videos releasing on Mondays at 5:38 p.m. CST time or Texas time. If you like this content, give this video a like, share this with anybody that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace! And as always, cheers. Ugh, I was waiting for that.